somewhere in town, or you get my email list. Raise your hand. Yeah, well, thank you for being here. Thank you. How many of you have heard me speak before? Did you not get it the first time? No. Totally new information. Thank you for being here. You're going to love it. I'm co-founder of Become Aware along with my amazing husband, Dr. Jeff Waxman, and we have programs not only for adults like you, but our adolescent curriculum is like in almost all the area schools: Temple, Belton, Killeen, Gatesville, and Passus, Maynard Taylor, Seguin, Lockhart. So we want kids to get the same messages you're going to get today. So we're excited about that. And I do have a book working journal, and I'm a professor, and I am a veteran of the U.S. Army. Still have one day a week at Baylor Scott and White. I always like to say I work as a gynecologist. I'm a recovering obstetrician. And I'm getting a lot more sleep. Next slide, please. Because it's not working here. There we go. So what we're going to do is, this talk is going to be about it's time for an keys to greater health and happiness. And I'll tell you what, I'm just going to kind of raise my hand over and just go to the next slide. You got it? Thank you. Thanks for helping me out. Just give them a big hand in the big clap. Now, those of you that know, that are well aware, it does have 11 essential elements to health and happiness. And here they are. But I'm not here to talk about any of these today. I'm not here to talk to you about the amazing things that have happened since I changed my fitness program, changed the way I eat, started meditating and all that other stuff. I'm not going to talk about any of that today. I'm going to talk about the framework for making all of this happen with ease. With ease, how we can start incorporating these into our lives if we have a basic understanding of what's going on. Okay? Here we go. So, I'm all here to make you neuroscientists. So, look at the person, turn to the person next to you and say, I'm a neuroscientist. I'm a neuroscientist, all right? Here we go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you see me kind of raise my hand up, go ahead. Thanks out there. So what is health? What is wellness?
Oh,
sorry. The World Health Organization has a definition, and it's an optimal state of health, and it's not only our physical, emotional, social, financial, spiritual well-being, it's fulfillment of our role expectations. We want to take care of ourselves first because we have all these role expectations. And we forget that, don't we, ladies? Because we're taking care of everybody else. Oh man, do we have it wrong? We're going to talk about that today. And all of this is important. Don't leave any of these out. Make sure you're focusing on all of these, because folks, I have friends, patients, they look like $1 billion. I used to say million, but inflation, right? They look amazing. Emotionally, they're a wreck. Or their social life is in disarray. And I've got some of the richest people I know. I mean, I don't know what you do with that much money. Aren't going to be around very long to spend it. And I've got a couple of friends that are so spiritual. I like being around them because when I'm around them, I think I see a halo. I want to feed off of these people. But if they don't start taking care of themselves, they're going to meet their maker pretty soon. Are you catching what I'm throwing? Yeah. Say, of course, I'm a neuroscientist. Of course. There you go. So, why is the pursuit of health and wellness so important today? Folks, it's more important today than ever because you would think life expectancy would be increasing in this amazing country with this amazing healthcare, and it's not. We're seeing increasing deaths from heart disease. We're seeing increasing cancer rates in young people, colon cancer, pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer. The death rate in our children under the age of 20 has increased 19%. Not 1%, 19%. Because of cancer? No. Diabetes? No. Murder, suicide, and accidents. So it's more important now than ever. And it's not just we're not living as long. The years that we're living are not as good. Health span, the number of years you and I are vibrant, really enjoying life, doing what we want to do, is going down. I mean, who wants to live to be 100 if the last 10, 15 years you're in a nursing home with a disease that you could have prevented? So that's why this is so important today. All right? So we have to ask ourselves, what does it cost to be healthy? We might say, well, yeah, it's got to be money, right? It's got to be time, right? No, that's not the answer. Unhealthy is what's costly. When we're unhealthy, it's costing us a lot of money. A lot of money. And it's taking away our time. It's taking away our time because now we're spending time in doctor's appointments and it's cutting years off our life. Staying healthy, which doesn't cost that much time and money, saves us money, actually. For that little investment you make, oh, you're going to get it back in no time. Every penny I've spent on wellness, oh, I got it back many-fold. Many-fold. And the time, wow. The number of years, because as we'll talk about, most diseases are preventable. So if it's not time and it's not money, what does it cost to be healthy? Well, I and my husband were able to find the answer to that question. It's not time and it's not money. What is it? You know, because our personal journey into wellness began 16 years ago. At that time I was 55 years old. I'm 71 now. And we've learned a whole lot over those years on what it costs to be healthy. And it's not time and it's not money. All right? It's not time and it's not money. And that's why we know this, because we've followed so many people also and found out why some people are successful and why some people aren't. Because thousands of people have followed Living Well Aware and heard me speak and gone to programs and stuff. We saw these successes. Total life changes. People emailing us. I used to be a couch potato. I've done 50 pounds in the last 6 months and I just finished my first half marathon. What? And an email that I just got a couple of months ago from someone who attended one of our wellness programs about 18 months ago. And she said, Living Well Aware has done more for me than years of psychotherapy, medications, and self-flagellation. Can we all beat ourselves down? Yeah, so we were hearing these stories, but we were also hearing the struggles. And we were able to figure out what's going on. Why are some of these people really successful and they maintain those changes? And why can we all struggle? Why would sometimes I struggle in making changes? You know, it's like, it took me forever to get into a good meditation practice. I struggle with this. So why do we struggle? Why do we struggle? What's keeping us from this optimal state of wellness? What does it cost to be healthy? Are you ready for this? The answer? Ta-da! Very freaking advanced the slide. There we go. Our BS. Our belief system. That's what's keeping us from it. Because all of these opportunities are available to all of us. Why do some people jump on them and why do some people not? We all have a self-limiting belief system in some aspect of our life. Here I was at this wellness conference in April 2008, 16 years ago. My husband took me there kicking and screaming. I did not want to go. And I realized I had put myself in a box of self-limiting beliefs. I was 55, thinking, well, I'm getting old, right? Maybe I should start slowing down. And I saw my patients, my friends, putting them in self-limiting self-limiting a box. Because I hear it all the time. Dr. Sulak, Patsy, I can't lose weight. I go, well, of course you can't. And they look at me, I go, you just told me you couldn't. it would be impossible for you to lose weight. Or losing weight is difficult. Sure is. You just said it is. There's no way it's going to be easy. You just said it's difficult. We think the body makes it happen. Same thing with our emotional health. I was stressed out all the time. I didn't need stress tattooed on my forehead because you could just see it. I was just stressed out. If I wasn't stressed out about something, I would find something to be stressed out about. Right? And I saw this in a lot of my friends and my patients. You know, they come in and go, "Sure, I'm depressed." I go, "Whoa, do you talk about that a lot?" "Yeah." You think about that a lot?" "Yeah." And I go, "Yeah. You have labeled yourself depression. You label it, the body will do it. When we say it, the body makes it happen. So we better be very careful. And how often do we say, "Oh, life is stressful"? Then we will go looking for stress. And we can have self-limiting beliefs about our social well-being, about our financial well-being, about, "I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money," thinking money buys happiness. Or, "I'll never get out of debt, I'll never get out of debt." Keep saying that, you'll never get out of debt. You say it, it will happen. All right? We can have self-limiting beliefs about our spiritual health, thinking, "Is there a God? Does it matter?" So with self-limiting beliefs, how are you and I going to fulfill our role expectations? It's going to be difficult, isn't it? Right? So these self-limiting beliefs lead to a self-limiting self-image. And how we see ourselves rules our life. How we see ourselves. It controls our life, guides our minds, commands, and directs all of our actions and feelings. And folks, it is impossible for you and I to act otherwise. It's impossible. You know, we are how we see ourselves. So where do we get this self-limiting belief system, self-image? Right? In fact, what determined the current health status you're in right now, sitting here? What determined your current physical health? The emotional state you're in? The social state you're in? The financial state? The spiritual state? What determined that? Only two things. Number one is external factors. Everything that's happened to you from the moment you were born, people have been programming you. And they've been teaching you stuff. All right, now a lot of that has been good. You did learn how to talk, walk, get dressed, drive a car, ride a bike, blah, blah, blah. But also everything else was programmed into you. Your beliefs. This is right, that's wrong, this is good, that's bad, you need to do it this way. Are you catching what I'm throwing? Yeah. Say, of course, I'm a neuroscientist. So all that's been in there. And you know, a lot of things that have happened to you have been amazing. And there's been some things that have been very difficult. Now, what's the other factor? The other factors are genetics. Our genetics play a role. We can inherit a tendency towards high blood pressure, correct? Towards high cholesterol. A small percentage of people even inherit a tendency towards certain cancers, correct? Yes. Right? We even inherit our personality. You know this. I was born with an obsessive compulsive personality. All right? I'm the middle of 7 kids. I'm the only one that's crazy. Right? Born and raised on a farm and a ranch to parents who didn't make it past the 6th grade. Anybody know where Itasca is? Anybody know the mascot? Oh, Wampus Cats. Captain of the basketball team. Okay. But genetics, we can inherit tendencies towards maybe anxiety or depression. We can inherit these tendencies. So you are where you are right now. You are you because of these two factors. All right? So if you don't like where you are in some aspect of your life, you wish you were better physically, emotionally, socially, financially, spiritually, or like me, all of the above. You know, if you don't like that, it's not your fault. Do you understand? This is where life is taking you. It's not your fault. It is your problem. But here's some good news, okay? So remember this, neuroscientists? Life events, genetics equal where you are right now. All right? Now, can you change these, either one of these? Can you change your past life events? Can you change your genetics? You can change both of them. You're like, what? We can change how we look at those past life events. Example, I was upset at my parents for decades because when I was graduating from high school, I told them I wanted to go to college. And my dad didn't even have a 6th grade education. He said, women don't need to go to college. And I held that against my parents. I just had negative thoughts about that. And then my fiance breaks up with me in college. Oh, I was devastated. Every time, years later, I'd think about it, I'd go, jerk. Yeah, I mean, I had these negative thoughts. But then I started pursuing wellness, and I realized, yes, we have all these memories back here. It's not the memories that are the problem. It's the emotion we attach to the memories. And the story we attach to it. Now I look back at my dad saying that, and I go, best thing that ever happened to me. I learned how to get out there and take care of myself and get myself through college and learn how to accept help from a couple that took me into their home and told me you need to go to medical school. I ended up being a doctor. That wouldn't have happened if my dad wouldn't have said, yeah. And I started looking back at the guy that broke up with me, and I went, well, I'm so glad he broke up with me because I found my husband. And I wish the best for him. I wish that. Memory minus a negative emotion is wisdom. Is wisdom. Things happen for a reason. And we can always look at the gift, the opportunity, the possibility. All right? Catching this? All right. You might start to find, Patsy, we can't change our genetics. Oh, really? That's the hottest thing going in wellness right now. Altering the function of our genes. Does everyone with the breast cancer gene get breast cancer? Oh, no. Why not? Why isn't that gene activated? In fact, they thought we were going to have mega genes, but we only have 23,000, although we have thousands and hundreds of 100,000 proteins, but we only have 23,000 genes. Did you know you are 98% chimpanzee? Well, why don't we look like chimpanzees? We have some different genes and we have different functions, different genes that are activated and not activated. And we can actually alter the function of those genes with our lifestyle. Actually, we can alter it with our thought alone. All right, we'll talk about this, neuroscientists, okay? So, remember, you are where you are right now because of those life events and genetics. And you've been programmed. 95% of what you do every day is the same thing. You get up in the morning, you do the same thing. And you've got these programs up here that say, oh, I'm going to go to this event today. I wouldn't think about leaving the house without putting on makeup. Okay? And some of you have the makeup gene. I didn't get that one, but I knew I had to put makeup on today, okay? I had that gene that said, you're going to be presenting to women, you need to put makeup on. I had that gene, okay? That program installed up here. Right? And you know, your emotions are programmed up here. You know what I'm talking about. If this happens, you're going to be happy. If this happens, programmed. It happens, you automatically do it. The program is there. It's automatically running. Automatically running. In fact, our mind, our brain, is the most amazing computer out there. People trying to replicate it. It's called AI, artificial intelligence. But this computer has something AI doesn't have. It has imagination. Imagination. So our brain functions like a GPS system. Let's say I want to go to the Worthington Hotel in downtown Fort Worth. And I want to leave right from here. My GPS system in my car will need to know, Patsy, where are you? And where do you want to? And it's going to give me several routes to get there, isn't it? It'll probably say I-35, but oh, what if there's an accident? It will. And if I pull over to stop at Buc-ee's, it'll go, what are you doing? Get back over here. And it is going to get me to the Worthington Hotel. It is going to get me there. It's not going to stop no matter what happens unless I turn it off. Your brain functions the same way, and your brain is taking you places. It took you here. For a lot of you, it may take you to your favorite coffee place every day. It may take you to the gym or not. But your GPS system is taking you places every day. It takes you the same route to work or wherever you're going. It's taking you somewhere. It's taking you somewhere. And you don't even have to think about it because it's programmed in there. But if you want to do something new, you've got to keep it turned on. This is how your brain works. This is how it works. And we wonder why we start to make changes, and oops, we didn't plug in a destination and keep our eye on it. We didn't revisit that to where all of a sudden we don't have to think about it. Do you have to think about brushing your teeth? Or do you just brush your teeth on Monday, Wednesday, Friday? No, it's something you do every day. It's the program is there. You don't have to think about it. That's what we call a habit when it is programmed. Your unconscious mind does it automatically. And most of what we do every day is through our unconscious mind. So most of the day, folks, we are unconscious. The programs are running. The programs are running. So we are our program, or what I like to refer to as our BS. By the way, this talk is full of BS. Have you noticed? All right, okay. So I love Anthony DeMello. He's a Jesuit priest. We think we're free, but there probably is an gestural thought, an emotion, an attitude, a belief in you that isn't coming from someone else and you don't even know it. Because you're being programmed. You've been programmed from the time you were born. You were watching TV, and then they're trying, and then there's a commercial. And you're like, whoa, I think I need that. You know, and all of a sudden you don't realize why you're doing it. And you want to stay in style. So you may find yourself buying jeans with holes in them. I did not get that program, okay? I'm still trying to figure that one out. Okay, all right. So the question we all have to ask us is, what programs do I have up here that are healthy? I want to keep those programs. In fact, I want to edit it. I want to make it better. Right? And this program is not serving me well. This program where I get frustrated and angry, and I'm eating crappy food, and I'm watching sitcoms with no socially redeeming qualities, and I'm wasting. What programs? Keep the ones that are good and maybe modify them, and then delete the ones that are not. Okay? So how do we dump self-limiting BS belief system and create an improved self-image, or what I call a new personality? That's what Living Well Aware is all about. So not only are we going to be neuroscientists today, we're going to make you master wellness computer programmers. Because is this a computer? Yeah. So you got to be a master programmer. So turn to the person next to you and say, I'm a master wellness computer programmer. Now, understand, I underlined wellness. I underlined wellness. Do you know people who are master suffering computer programmers? Master pity party computer programmers? You know, they programmed it in there, and they become masters at it. They get up in the morning and go, I wonder what's going to happen at work today. You know, what am I going to have to deal with? You know, and then the program looks for things that are bad. We want to be master wellness computer programmers. Because our current program has led to an epidemic of self-induced disease. All right? We have to ask ourselves, am I at risk? Folks, we're all at risk, and if you think you're not, they got you. They got you. Right? They got you. Right? So, what's the number one cause of death and disability in America? number one cause is unhealthy behaviors due to faulty programming. Talk to any cardiologist, the majority of heart attacks were preventable. Talk to any neurologist, the majority of strokes, Alzheimer's, preventable. That's what's happening downstream of those diagnoses. It's these unhealthy behaviors that are actually the cause of what's happening downstream. Right? So, what's the number one, now we're talking about diseases, what's the number one self-induced disease that's caused by that faulty programming? Aging. Aging is a disease. When do most heart attacks, strokes, Alzheimer's occur? As we get 8% of cancers are in people over 55. Aging is a disease itself. As the years go by, year after year, decade after decade, you and I are exposing ourselves to this unhealthy behaviors because of faulty programming. What that's doing is altering the function of our genes, altering protein production. So DNA makes proteins. You are a protein-producing machine. That your skin, collagen, that's protein. Actin, myosin, muscles, that's protein. Antibodies, that's protein. Your hormones, thyroxine hormone, that's a protein. Your body is a protein-producing machine, and those proteins are produced through the DNA code. And as we age, we can damage that DNA. It leads to bad proteins, leads to inflammation, leads to disease. So, wow, there's so much that we can do. We'll talk about that. So, neuroscientists, what can we do? All right, let's talk about that. We can change our thinking, our belief system. We can see ourselves differently and make personal health the priority if we understand we have so much control over what's happening. All right? In fact, folks, there's not a disease out there that we can't prevent or reduce the severity of, that we can't handle better if we see ourselves differently. All right? Okay. So, you're a master wellness computer programmer, right? So we have to decide, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Next slide, please. There we go. We need a new program, a new operating system. Now, here's my living well-aware formula. You've got to have the best information. Are people trying to sell you a lot of stuff? Oh yeah. What's fact versus fraud? And boy, some of this stuff, oh, it sounds good. So you need the best information, and you need the best implementation strategies. Information without implementation is another I, insanity. We need to find some doable strategies. And do we need some inspiration? Heck yeah, I search for inspiration. There's so many people out there, I stalk them, because I'm like, how do they do that? Wow. And I have these people over for dinner, and I go out to coffee with them, because I'm like, oh my goodness, just being around them. I learn from inspiration. All of that will lead to installation, right? Computer programmers? Now we have a new program running up here. Now what's going to drive this equation? What's going to drive this equation? There's another important I, and that is imagination. And you're like, what? What? An imagination? Yes. You and I, all of a sudden we have a new intention. We have a new destination. Right? We have a new destination. And we're thinking, we're seeing ourselves differently. And not only that, here's something else. We just can't go, yeah, I think I want to go there. That's what I think I want to be. That's what, yeah. You can't just go, yeah. You have to do it with an elevated emotional state. You have to go, yes. And your body just has to feel it. And all of a sudden, you're in a state of joy and gratitude that there's this possibility out there, this opportunity that you can do this, and what all would happen if you did this. So you need an intention and a new story. And you need an elevated emotional state if you want to be the new you. the best formula. All right? So you might say, seriously? I first have to like imagine the new me and this new behavior. I have to see the end result. And I have to give thanks before it's happened? Yes. Give thanks before it's even happened. All right? Before it's even happened. You know why? Because your body doesn't know the difference. The programming is already starting. Because you're thinking it. And you might think, that's crazy. Oh, really? How many of you have thought something bad is going to happen? And you're like, oh my goodness, this bad thing can happen. And all of a sudden you're feeling nervous and anxious. How many of you have just thinking about something, you're stressed out, can't sleep, raise your hand. Well, those of you that didn't raise your hand, you lie about other shit. Right. So, your body doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference. It's going, whoa, stress, cortisol, releasing, and it's affecting your immune system and everything. Stress is not good for us. It's mind. We think mind over matter. Have you heard that? Well, you're doing it all the time. Your mind is moving matter. That's why you're sitting upright right now. It's telling your mind is saying, I got to sit upright. Except you don't even have to. The program is there. Your body doesn't know the difference. You're thinking negative thoughts. It's going, hey, I know how to do negative thoughts. Right? Yeah. If you don't believe me, how about Albert Einstein? Was he kind of a smart guy? When I examined myself and my methods of thought, I came to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. The great people of the world saw themselves, they had a vision. They're called Abraham Lincoln and Joan of Arc and just Nelson Mandela. There's just, I could go, Mother Teresa. They had a vision and their body went, okay, we're on it. And it didn't matter what happened, they didn't turn that vision off. So you're a neuroscientist. How many of you believe your thoughts affect your life? Hello. Then shouldn't we be questioning some of these thoughts? Yeah, there we go. So, our thoughts create our reality. I have created the world I live in. Do I see a world full of possibilities, opportunities? Or do I see a world of that? Life is difficult. How we think, feel, and act, that's our personality, correct? That's what makes your personality. How you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're acting equal our personality. Equal our personality. So, here we go. To create a new you have to think, feel, and act differently. You have to become a new person. A new person. And that's what I get to see. And I saw myself going, I didn't want to be the old Patsy version that was stressed out all the time, jealous, always feeling inadequate no matter how many things I accomplished. I'm done with that person. And I'll guarantee you, I don't want to be the same Patsy Sulak in December 2024 than I am May 2024. There's a better version out there. And when we think we're done, we're done. And I never want to be done. So we literally have to become someone else. You know who that is? The real you, not the imposter that's been created. Right? So our beliefs and our thoughts create our reality. And let's think about it. Can we find ourselves thinking negative thoughts? I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as that person. I don't have enough. I need this, I need this, I need this. I'm not appreciated enough. Why is this happening to me? I'm a failure. I failed at that. And guess what happens just by even thinking those thoughts? Right? We create a hormonal milieu. When you think those thoughts, your brain and its trillions of connections are connected through your entire body. body. And it's activating certain genes, DNA, making certain neurochemicals and hormones. And we can bathe ourselves in this negativity, which affects our GI tract, our heart rate, our brain, everything, our immune system. It affects everything. And all we had to do was think it. Your body doesn't know the difference. Once again, we got to get this down, neuroscientists. It doesn't know the difference between a negative event, imagining it, and it actually happening. To the body, it's the same. When we think negative, then guess what? Our body is drawn towards more negative. It draws it. We're drawn to the negative. We even hang out with those people. Right? So what if we stop and turn the external world off, enter the state, and just say, enter a state of peace, joy, abundance, and gratitude as we visualize a better version of ourselves. And we visualize ourselves performing healthy behaviors. Our body thinks that we're actually doing them. And guess what? Our body is going to seek that out. Oh, that's what she wants. Okay, that's what she wants. And all of a sudden, boom, we create a different hormonal milieu. And all of a sudden, we're activating different nerve pathways. We're activating different genes. And all of a sudden, we create a different milieu, and then we go out into the environment, and we find ourselves doing healthy things because we've created a new version, right? Now, all of a sudden we find ourselves volunteering, eating healthy. We're looking for those healthy foods. We're getting together with healthy relationships and sharing with people. And we're actually even taking time to meditate. Because we visualized ourselves doing it, and then we go look for it. Nerve cells that fire together, wire together. And all of a sudden you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and you don't even have to think about it. I don't have to think about working out every morning. It's part of the program. Willpower does not get me out of bed. I'd still be in bed right now. The vision that I have for what I'm called to do gets me out. Right? So neuroscientists, you're all neuroscientists, right? Look at the person next to you and say, of course you are. Because now you're understanding the neuroscience. Can you believe in a future that only exists in your mind? And go ahead and give gratitude and joy before it even happens. Can you do that? Yes, we can, because we're neuroscientists. Of course we can. Of course we can. Right? Now, you're also a master wellness computer programmer, correct? Can you install a program that thinks and feels gratitude and joy for no reason except there are opportunities and possibilities that exist out there in the universe? Can you do that? In fact, folks, you don't even need to do it. That program is already there. We're just not using it. Just like I got programs on my computer, they're there, I'm just not using them. I got programs on my phone, they're there, I just don't know how to use them. I haven't used them. I haven't tapped into them. Those programs are already there. Our brain is unlike any other organ in our body that's duplicated. You have two kidneys. Does one do one thing and the other do the other? No, they do the same thing. You have two lungs. Does one inhale and the other exhale? No. You have two arms, they do the same thing. Two eyes, they see. The brain is the only organ in the body that has different functions. Right? You have a right brain and a left brain. And we know this. We know it because of imaging studies and because of people who've had brain tumors and trauma, what happens in that area of the brain. And this left brain of ours is our survival brain. It gets us around planet Earth. You know, and it judges. That's good, that's bad, this right, is wrong. And it tries to predict the future based on the past, the story we've labeled to the past. And it's what I call the GTD, get things done. very powerful left brain. The problem is I wasn't using my right brain. The right brain isn't the survival brain, it's the thriving brain. It's present to the moment. It doesn't know the past or the future. It's just present to the moment. It's open. It's the part of us that's connected with everyone. It's the part of us that's connected with the universe, the quantum field, the black hole. Some of you may call it the divine. And you might say, Patsy, are you making this up? Folks, this is out of Harvard. This is from the neuroanatomist of how our brain functions. And we're so filled today with being so connected, we're living in our left brain, we're not living in our right brain. Right? So here's the great news. Right? You and I have the ability, we have the power to, go ahead and put those through, direct our thoughts and feelings, alter long-held beliefs, and we can choose how we perceive the world, even though somebody else is programmed differently. We have the power to turn our circuitry on and off. What does it require? Imagination, and we have to use our entire brain, all right? The source of all of our thoughts, okay? And this is my quote, to be it, I gotta see it, and I actually have to believe I can do it. I can be it, all right? So, here's the keys to the new you, neuroscientists and master wellness computer programmers. We need to edit existing programs. We need to turn on underutilized programs. And how are we going to do it? Folks, that's what Living Well Aware is all about. We used to focus most of our courses on, here's how to eat healthy, here's how to fast, here's the best exercise program. Yeah, we still do all of that. But you're more apt to do all of that if you understand your brain function. All right? The key to change, we say we're no longer going to think, feel, and act in the same way. I'm not going to do that. And we do it with an incredibly committed emotional state. And we imagine a better version of ourselves. And what happens if we do this, folks? Whatever it is for you, whatever you imagine. For some of you, it's getting out of shape, in shape, overweight to ideal weight, depressed to happy, anxious to calm. I had to visualize calm. At the beginning, my body went, she wants to do what? Do we have that program? Oh yeah, it's over here in the right brain. I found it. I had to see it. I had to imagine it first. And I had to believe it was possible. And anything that you want to do, right? Anything that you want to do. Folks, we have to be outliers. Do you think most people know this? You've got to be an outlier. You have to get out there and live this and be examples. You have to meet your role expectations. Right? So, begin with the end in mind. Reprogram your GPS. Okay? Here we go. The question is, imagine what would your life be like if you did this? I can tell you folks, it's nothing short of miraculous. I didn't know I could be 71, feel this good, emotionally be in a better state. I definitely did not know married people were supposed to be this happy. I took a marriage that was falling apart, and now I'll put ours against anybody. And it's not that my husband needed to make a lot of changes. I needed to change the way I was looking at it. I needed to change. The change is with you, in here, not out there. Okay? So, for those of you that are spiritual, I had to finally start living what I'd been brought up with. Question everything. And I mean everything. Retain what is good. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, in all circumstances give thanks. I never understood that. Now I get it. I'm not going to argue with reality. I'm going to look for the gifts and the opportunities and live in a state of gratitude. All right. So, I can tell you, we're not done. Are y'all done? No, that's why you're here. Give yourself a hand. That's why you're here. You're not done. So you've already got the first step. You've already got the start. You're showing yourself some love. I'm loving it. All right, there you go. But you got to have a why. And you got to go home and you got to write down all the whys that you want to do this. Write it down. And I can tell you, I got a lot of whys. Here's 2 of them. All right. I want to be the best example I can be for these girls. I want to let them know life's not always going to go your way. People can be unkind. Men may walk out on you. You can handle it. You're going to take that experience and you're going to run with it. That's what I can show them. That's what I can show them. All right. So what does it cost to be healthy? Now you guys got it. It cost us our BS, our belief system. We got to question it. We got to go where we've resisted going and realize, that's because of our BS that we're resisting it. All right? So we welcome you to travel the journey with us. Please go ahead and also plug in here, pick up the flyer at this Sherry's waving back there. The Living Well in Vail, the lecture series is going to start May 21st at the Temple Community Clinic. I'll be speaking. It'll be a little bit different, but bring your friends and all. We want to pack that place. We want to get this community healthier. Let's travel as a community. Okay, we got information back there. I hope you'll sign up for my newsletter if you haven't. livingwellwear.com. Sign up on the homepage. And I hope some of you will travel with us. We're starting our next wellness series in about 10 days. We did 25 webinars on Zoom last year on every topic you can think of. We're taking it to a much higher level. It's all going to be recorded for convenience. We've got some information back there. The live webinars, we're going to do a virtual book club. You don't even have to read the book. We'll read it for you. Okay, but if you read, you're going to love it. We're going to tell you the best books out there, newsletters and everything. So if you have any information, and by the way, because you showed up for this event, if you do show up and sign up for the program, you get the book, the workbook, and the journal all free. Just get it free if you sign up for the wellness course, okay? And keep going there. Thank you. Keep going. Living Well Aware. So before Dr. Seacrest gets up here, I got to make sure y'all are ready and y'all understand imagination. So next slide, Dr. Seacrest, come on up there. All right, let's go. Next slide. We got to do a little Justin Timberlake. Everybody stand up. All right. That's what we're going to do. Neuroscientist, master wellness computer. Perfect. By the way, I also suggest you get a good playlist. And this will be one of the songs on. Folks, let's all live healthy, live happy, live holy, live humanity. Thank you very much.